Who's there?
Nay, answer me! Stand and unfold yourself.
Long live the king.
Bernardo?
He...
You come most punctually upon your watch.
'Tis now struck 12. Get thee to bed, Francisco.
For this relief, much thanks. 'Tis bitter cold, and I'm sick at heart.
Have you had quiet, guard?
Not a mouse stirring.
Well, good night. If you do meet Horatio and Marcellus, the partners of my watch, bid them make haste.
I think I hear them. Stand ho! Who's there?
Friends to this ground.
And liegeman to the Dane.
Give you good night.
Oh, farewell, honest soldier. Who hath relieved you?
Bernardo hath my place. Give you good night.
Hello, Bernardo.
Say, what, is Horatio there?
A piece of him.
Welcome, Horatio. Welcome, good Marcellus.
What? Has this thing appeared again tonight?
I have seen nothing.
Horatio says 'tis but our fantasy, and will not let belief take hold of him, touching this dreaded sight twice seen of us. Therefore I have asked him to come along with us to watch the minutes of this night, that if again this apparition come, he may approve our eyes and speak to it.
Tush, 'twill not appear.
Sit down a while, and let us once again assail your ears that have been so fortified against our story, what we have 2 nights seen.
Well, sit we down.
Last night, when yon same star met his course, where now it burns, Marcellus and myself, the clock then beating 1. Peace, break thee off, look where it comes again, in the same garments like the king that's dead. Speak to it, Horatio! Looks it not like the king?
Most like, it fills me with fear and wonder.
It would be spoken to. Speak to it, Horatio!
What art thou that usurp this time of night, in form so like our buried King Hamlet? By heaven, I charge thee, speak!
It is offended. See how it's tucked away.
Speak, I charge thee, speak!
'Tis gone and will not answer.
How now, Horatio, you tremble and look pale. Is not this something more than fantasy?
Before my God, I might let this believe without the sensible and true testimony of mine own eyes.
Is it not like the king?
As thou art to thyself. So found he once in an angry mood. 'Tis strange.
Thus twice before, in just at this dead hour.
This bodes some strange disruption to our state. In the most high and palmy state of Rome, a little before the mightiest Julius fell, the graves opened up and the halting dead did squeak and gibber in the Roman streets. But soft, behold, look where it comes again. I'll cross it though, blasphemy. Stay, illusion! If thou hast any sound or use of voice, speak to me. Any good to be done that may to thee do ease and grace to me, speak to me. If thou art privy to the country's fate, which happily Fonoy may avoid, oh speak, speak. Or if thou hast hoarded in thy life any treasures hidden in the womb of the earth, for which they say you spirits oft walk in death, speak of it, stay and speak. Stop it, Marcellus!
Shall I strike it?
Do it if it will not stand. 'Tis here! 'Tis here!
'Tis here! 'Tis
there!
'Tis gone. We do it wrong being so royal, to offer it the show of violence.
It was about to speak when the cock crew.
I've heard the roosters or trumpets in the morn, that with his high and shrill sounding crow doth await the god of day, and at his warning the wandering and errant spirit hurries to his confine.
It faded on the crowing of the cock.
Break we our watch up, and by my advice let us impart what we have seen tonight unto young Hamlet. For upon my life this spirit mute to us will speak to him.
Let's do it, I pray, and I this morning know where we shall find him most convenient.
Though yet of Hamlet, our dear brother's death, the memory be green, and that it us befitted to bear our hearts in grief, and our whole kingdom to be contracted in one brow of woe. Yet so far hath discretion fought with nature that we with wisest sorrow think on him, together with remembrance of ourselves. Therefore, our sometime sister, now our queen, the imperial jointress to this warlike state, have we, as 'twere with a defeated joy, with an auspicious and a dropping eye, with mirth and funeral, and with dirge and marriage, in equal scale weighing delight and dole, taken to wife. Nor have we here embarred your better wisdoms, which have freely gone with this affair all along, for all our thanks. And now, Laertes, what's the news with you? You told us of some suit. What is it, Laertes? You cannot speak of reason to the Dane and lose your voice? What wouldst thou have, Laertes? That shall not be my offer, not thy asking. The head is more native to the heart, the hand is more instrumental to the mouth, than is the throne of Denmark to thy father. What wouldst thou have, Laertes?
My dread lord, your leave and favor to return to France, from whence though willingly I came to Denmark to show my duty in your coronation. Yet now I must confess, that duty done, my thoughts and wishes bend me again towards France, and bow them to your gracious leave and pardon.
Oh, have you your father's leave? What says Polonius?
He hath, my lord, wrung for me my slow leave by laborsome petition, and at last upon his will I sealed my heart consent. I do beseech you give him leave to go.
Take thy fair hour, Laertes, time be thine, and thy best graces spend it at thy will. But now, my nephew Hamlet, and my son.
A little more than kin and less than kind.
How is it that the clouds still hang on you?
Not so, my lord. I'm much too in the sun.
But Hamlet, cast thy knighted color off, and let thine eye look like a friend in Denmark. Do not forever with thy veiled lid seek thy noble father in the dust. Thou know'st 'tis common that all lives must die, passing through nature to eternity.
Aye, madam, it is common.
If it be, why seem so personal with thee?
Seems, madam. Nay, it is. I know not seems. 'Tis not alone my inky cloak, good mother, but I have that within which passes show. These but the trappings and the suits of woe.
'Tis sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these mourning duties to your father. But you must know that your father lost a father, that father lost his. But to persevere in obstinate condolement 'tis unmanly grief. It shows a will most incorrect to heaven, and we pray you to throw to earth this unprevailing woe, and think of us as a father. For let the world take note, you are the most immediate heir to our throne, and with no less nobility of love than which dearest father bears his son do I impart towards you. For your intent in going back to school in Wittenberg, it is most contrary to our desire, and we beseech you, bend you to reign here in the cheer and comfort of our eye, our chiefest courtier, nephew, and our son.
I pray thee, let not thy mother lose her prayers, Hamlet. I pray thee stay with us. Go not to Wittenberg.
I shall in all my best obey you, madam.
Why, 'tis a loving and fair reply. This sits smiling in my heart. Madam, come away.
Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew. Or that the everlasting had not fixed his cannon against self-slaughter. Oh, God. Oh, God! How weary, stale, flat and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world, that it should come to this. But 2 months dead. Nay, not so much, not 2. So excellent a king that was to this Hyperion to a satyr, so loving of my mother that he might not allow the winds of heaven visit her face too roughly. Oh, heaven and earth, must I remember? Why, she would hang on him as if increase of appetite had grown by what it fed on. And yet, within a month, why, she, oh God, a beast that lacks discourse of reason would have mourned longer. Married with my uncle, my father's brother, but no more like my father than I to Hercules. Within a month she married. O most wicked speed, to post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets. It is not, nor it cannot come to good.
My lords, he's right this way.
But break my heart, for I must hold my tongue.
Hail to your lordship!
Horatio, my good friend, I'll change that name with ye. But what make you from Wittenberg, Horatio? Marcellus?
My good lord.
I'm glad to see thee well. Good evening, sir. But what make you from Wittenberg?
An idle disposition, my lord.
I would not hear your enemy say so. But what is your affair in Elsinore? Well, we'll teach you to drink deep ere you depart.
My lord, I came to see your father's funeral.
I pray thee do not mock me, fellow student. I think it was to see my mother's wedding.
Indeed, my lord, it followed fast upon.
My father. Methinks I see my father.
Where, my lord?
In my mind's eye, Horatio!
He was a goodly king. I saw him alive once.
He was a man. Take him for all in all. I shall not look upon his like again.
My lord, I think I saw him yesternight.
Saw who?
My lord, the king, your father.
The king, my father? For God's love, let me hear.
2 nights ago had these gentlemen, Marcellus and Bernardo, on their watch in the dead of the night been thus encountered. A figure like your father appeared before them. And I with them the 3rd night kept the watch, whereas they had said the apparition came. I knew your father. These hands are not more similar.
But where was this?
My lord, upon the platform where we watch.
Did you not speak to it?
My lord, I did, but answer made it none. Yet once methought it lifted up its head and did address itself to motion like as it would speak. But then the morning cock crew loud, and at the sound it shrunk in haste away and vanished from our sight.
'Tis very strange.
As I do live, my honored lord, 'tis true, and we did think it our duty to let you know of it.
Indeed, sirs, indeed, but this troubles me. Hold you the watch tonight?
We do, my lord.
What looked he? Frowningly?
A countenance more in sorrow than in anger.
Pale or red?
Nay, very pale.
And fixed his eyes upon you?
Most constantly.
I wish I had been there.
It would have much amazed you.
Very like. Stayed it long?
Well, one with moderate haste might tell 100.
No longer.
No longer. Not when I saw it.
I'll watch tonight. Perchance 'twill walk again.
I warrant it will.
If it assume my noble father's person, I'll speak to it. Though hell itself should gape and bid me hold my peace. So fare you well. Upon the platform twixt 11 and 12, I'll visit you.
Our duty to your honor.
Your loves is mine to you. Farewell. My father's spirit? In arms. All is not well. I fear some foul play. Would the night warp come? Till then, sit still my soul. Foul deeds will rise, though all earth itself conceal them to men's eyes.
Da 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 da. Da. Da 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 da
My necessaries are embarked. Farewell. Sister, do not sleep, but let me hear from you.
Do you doubt that?
As for Hamlet and the trifling of his favor, hold it a fashion, a toy in blood. Sweet, not permanent. Forward, not lasting. The perfume and suppliance of a minute, no more.
No more but so.
Think of it no more. See, perhaps he loves you now, and now no soil nor stain doth besmirch the virtue of his will. But you must fear. If he says he loves you, then wait what loss your honor may sustain if you lose your heart or chase treasure open to his unmastered importunity. Fear it, Ophelia. Fear it, dear sister, and keep you in the rear of your affections, out of shot and danger of desire. Be wary then. Best safety lies in fear. Used to itself rebels, though none else is near.
I shall the effect of this good lesson keep, as watchman to my heart. But good my brother, do not as some ungracious pastors do, show me the steep and thorny way to heaven, while as like a puffed and reckless libertine, himself the primrose path of dalliance treads, and recks not his own reed.
Oh, fear me not, I stay too long. But here my father comes, a double blessing is a double grace. Occasion smiles upon my second leave.
Still here, Laertes? Abort, abort, for shame! The wind sets in the shoulder of your sail, and you are stayed for. There, my blessing with thee. And these few precepts in thy memory look thou character. Give thy thoughts no tongue, nor any unproportioned thought his act. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. Those friends thou hast in their adoption tried, hold them to thy soul with hoops of steel. Beware of entrance to a quarrel, but being in makest that thy opponent may beware of thee. Give every man thy ear, but few thy voice. Take every man's opinion, but reserve thy judgment. Make as costly thy dress as thy purse can buy, but not express in fancy. Rich, not gaudy. For the apparel oft proclaims the man. Neither a borrower nor a lender be, for loan oft loses both itself and friend, and borrowing dulls the edge of husbandry. This, above all, stand up, to thine own self be true. And it must follow as the night the day, thou canst not then be false toward any man. Farewell. My blessing season this in thee.
Most humbly do I take my leave, my lord.
The time invites you. Go, your servants wait.
Farewell, Ophelia. And remember well what I have said to you.
'Tis in my memory locked, and you yourself shall keep the key of it.
Farewell.
What is it, Ophelia, he hath said to you?
So please you something touching the Lord Hamlet.
Marry, well bethought. 'Tis told me he hath very oft of late given private time to you. And you yourself have your attention been most free and generous. If it be so, I must tell you do not understand yourself so clearly as approves my daughter and your honor. What is between you? Give me up the truth.
He hath, my lord, of late given many tenders of his affection to me.
Affection? Pooh, you speak like a green girl, inexperienced in such perilous circumstance. Do you believe his tenders, as you call them?
I do not know, my lord. What should I think?
Marry, I will teach you. Think yourself a baby, that you obtain these tenders for true pay, which aren't genuine. Tender yourself more dearly, or you'll tender me a fool.
He hath importuned me with love in an honorable fashion,
Aye, fashion you may call it. Go to.
and hath given countenance to his speech with almost all the holy vows of heaven.
Aye, vows to heaven. I do know when the blood burns how prodigal the soul lends the tongue vows. These blazes, daughter, give more light than heat. From this time do not believe his vows, he is young. Once and for all, do not give words or talk with the Lord Hamlet. Look to it, I charge you. Come, away.
I shall obey, my lord.
The air bites bitterly. It is very cold.
It's a sharp and eager air.
What hour now?
I think it's just 12.
No, it is struck.
Indeed, I heard it not. And it draws near the time where the spirit held is wont to walk. What does this mean, my lord?
The king doth wake tonight and drinks deeply.
Is it a custom?
I marry, it is. And though I'm native here unto the manor born, it is a custom more honored in the breaking than the observance.
Look, my lord, it comes.
Angels and ministers of grace defend us. Be thou a spirit of health, a goblin damned. Bring with thee heirs from heaven or blasts from hell. Be thy intense, wicked, or charitable. Thou comest in such a questionable shape that I will call thee King, Hamlet, Father, Royal Dane. Oh, why is it that thou, dead corpse, revisits thus the glimpse of the moon? Say, why is this? Wherefore? What should we do?
It beckons you to go away with it, but do not go with it. No, by no means.
It will not speak? Then I will follow it.
Do not, my lord.
Why? What should be the fear? I do not value my life at penny's fee. And for my soul, what can it do to that, being a thing immortal's itself? Waves me forth. I'll follow it.
What if it tempt you to the flood, my lord, or to the dreadful summit of a cliff that overhangs its base into the sea, and there assumes some of the horrible form which might deprave your sovereignty of reason and draw you into madness? Think of it.
It waves me forth again. Go on, I'll follow thee.
Shall not go, my lord.
Unhand me,
Be
gentlemen.
ruled, you shall not go.
My fate cries out. Unhand me, gentlemen. By heaven, I'll make a ghost of him that stops me. I say, away. Go on, I'll follow thee.
He grows desperate with imagination. Let's follow. 'Tis not fit thus to obey him. Something is rotten in the state of Denmark.
Whither wilt thou lead me? Speak, I'll go no further.
Mark me,
I will.
my hour is almost come, when I to sulphurous and tormenting flames must render up myself.
Alas, poor ghost.
Pity me not, but lend thy serious hearing to what I shall unfold.
Speak, I'm bound to hear.
So art thou to revenge when thou shalt hear.
What?
I am thy father's spirit, doomed for a certain time to walk the night, and for the day confined to fast and fires, till the foul crimes done in my days of nature are burnt and purged away. But that I am forbid to tell the secrets of my prison house. To ears of flesh and blood, list, oh list, if thou didst ever thy dear father love.
Oh, God.
Revenge his foul and most unnatural murder.
Murder?
Murder most foul, strange and unnatural.
Oh, haste me to know it, that I may sweep to my revenge.
I find thee apt. Now Hamlet, hear. 'Tis recorded that sleeping within my orchard a serpent stung me. But no, thou noble youth, the serpent that did sting thy father's life now wears his crown.
Oh, my prophetic soul. My uncle?
Aye, that incestuous, that adulterate beast, with witchcraft of his wits, with traitorous gifts. Oh, wicked gifts that have the power so to seduce. One to his shameful lust the will of my receiving virtuous queen. Oh, Hamlet, what if falling off was there? So loveless, though to a radiant angel linked, will set itself in a celestial bed and prey on garbage! So, methinks I scent the morning air. Brief let me be, sleeping within my orchard, my custom, always of the afternoon. Upon my secure hour thy uncle stole, with juice of accursed poison in a vial, and in the openings of my ears did pour. Thus was I, sleeping by a brother's hand, of life, of crown, of queen, at once dispatched, cut off even in the blossoms of my sin. No reckoning made, but sent to my account with all the imperfections on my head. Oh, horrible, horrible, most horrible. Let not the royal bed of Denmark be a couch for luxury and damned incest!
whatsoever thou pursuest this act, taint not thy mind, nor let thy soul contrive against thy mother. Leave her to heaven, and to those thorns that in her bosom lodge, to prick and sting her. Fare thee well at once, though one shows the morning to be near. Adieu! 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 Remember me!
Oh, all you host of heaven! Oh, earth, what else? And shall I join hell? Remember thee? Remember thee? Yea, from all the table of my memory, I'll wipe away all foolish fond records, and thy commandment, all alone, shall live within the book and memory of my brain. Yes, my heaven. O most pernicious woman. O villain, villain, smiling, damned villain, that one may smile and be a villain. So, uncle, there you are. Now to my word. It is adieu, adieu, remember me. I've sworn it.
My lord! My lord!
Lord Hamlet!
Heaven secure him!
So be it.
Hello, ho, ho, my lord!
Hello, ho, ho, boy, come and come!
How is it, my noble lord?
Oh, wonderful.
Good, my lord, tell it.
No, you reveal it.
Not I, my lord, by heaven.
What say you then? Would the heart of man ever believe it? But you'll be secret?
I, by heaven, my lord.
There is a villain dwelling in all Denmark.
There needs no ghost, my lord, come from the grave to tell us this.
By right, you are in the right. I will go pray.
These are but wild and whirling words, my lord.
I'm sorry they offend you. Heartily. Yes, faith. Heartily.
There's no offense, my lord.
Yes, by St. Patrick, but there is, Horatio, and much offense too. This vision here, it is an honest ghost, that let me tell you. And now, good friends, as you are friends, scholars and soldiers, give me one poor request.
What is it, my lord? We will.
Never make known what you have seen tonight.
My lord, we will not.
Nay, but swear it.
In faith, my lord, not I.
Upon my sword.
We have sworn, my lord, already.
Indeed, upon my sword, indeed.
Swear!
Boy, sayest thou so? Art thou in the cellar? Consent to swear.
Propose the oath, my lord.
Never to speak of this that you have seen. Consent to swear.
Swear!
Come hither, gentlemen, and as before, lay your hands upon my sword. Never speak of this that you have heard.
Swear by his sword!
Well said, old mole. Canst thou work in the earth so fast?
Go day and night, but this is wondrous strange.
And as a stranger, give it welcome. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. But come, here as before. Soever odd or strange I soever bear myself, as hereafter I shall think to put an antic disposition on. This do swear.
Swear!
Rest, rest, perturbed spirit. The time is out of joint. O cursed spite that ever I was born to set it right. Oh, nay, come, let's go together.
Give him this money and these letters, Ronaldo.
I will, my lord.
You shall do marvelous wisely, good Ronaldo, before you visit him to make inquiry of his behavior.
My lord, I do intend it.
Very well said. Very well said. Look you, sir, inquire me first what Danes are in Paris, and who, what, and where they keep what company, and if they know my son. Do you mark this, Ronaldo?
Aye, very well, my lord.
There put on him what forgeries you please. Marry, none so rank as may dishonor him, take heed of that. But there are such wanton, wild, unusual failings that are most known to youth and liberty.
As gambling, my lord?
Aye, or drinking, fencing, swearing, quarreling, drabbing. That is not my meaning, but to breathe his fault so quaintly that he may seem the taint of liberty. The taint of liberty, the flash and outbreak of a fiery mind, a savageness of untamed blood.
But my good lord!
Why should you do this?
I, my lord, I would know that.
Marry, sir, here's my drift. And I believe it is a fetch of wit, you laying these slight sallies on my son. He closes with you in the consequence.
Very good, my lord.
And then... What was I about to say? I was about to say something. Where did I leave?
At closes in the consequence.
At closes in the consequence, I marry. Others will say, I know the gentleman, I saw him yesterday. There was he gambling, there overtook with drink. Look. Or... perchance, I saw him enter a brothel, and thus do we make him in Paris well known, so shall you to my son. You have me, have you not?
My lord, I have.
God buy ye, fare ye well.
Good, my lord.
Observe his inclination in yourself.
I shall, my lord.
And let him play his music.
Well, my lord.
Farewell.
Oh, my lord, I've been so frightened.
With what, in the name of God?
My lord, as I was sewing in my private chamber, the Lord Hamlet with his jacket all undone, pale as his shirt, knees knocking each other, and with a look so piteous as if he had been loose out of hell. To speak of such horrors, he came before me.
Mad for thy love?
My lord, I do not know, but I truly do fear it.
What said he?
He took me by the wrist and held me hard, then went he to the length of his arm, and with his other hand thus over his brow, he felt such perusal at my face as he would draw it.
Come, we shall go seek the king. This is the very ecstasy of love that does afflict our natures. I'm sorry, what? Have you given me hard words of late?
No, my good lord, but as you did command, I did repel his letters and deny him access to me.
That hath made him mad. I'm sorry, I feared he did but trifle and meant to rack thee. Come, go we to the king. This must be known, which being kept close might move more grief to hide than hate to utter love.
Welcome, dear Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. The need we have to send you did provoke our hasty sending. Something have you heard of Hamlet's transformation, so I call it, since neither the exterior nor the inward man resembles what he was? What could it be more than his father's death that thus hath put him so much from the understanding of himself? I cannot dream of. I entreat you both that, being since young days so brought up with him, and since familiar with his youth and behavior, that you agree your rest here in our court.
Good gentleman, Hamlet hath much talked of you, and sure I am there are two men not living to whom he more adores. Your visitation shall receive many thanks, as fits the king's remembrance.
Both your majesties might by the sovereign power you have of us put your dread pleasures more into command than to entreaty.
But we both obey, and here give up ourselves in the full bent, to lay our service freely at your feet, to be commanded.
Thanks, Rosencrantz and gentle Guildenstern.
Thanks, Guildenstern and gentle Rosencrantz. And I beseech you instantly to visit my too much changed son. Go, some of you, bring these gentlemen where Hamlet is.
Heavens make our presence and our practices pleasant and helpful to him.
Amen.
My good lord! I do believe that I have found the very cause of Hamlet's lunacy!
Oh, do speak of that, for I do long to hear.
I doubt it is no other than the main his father's death and our hasty marriage.
Well, we shall ask him.
My liege and madam too, expostulate what duty is, what majesty is. Why, day is day, night, nine times time were nothing but to waste night, day, and time. Therefore, since brevity is a soul of wit, and tedious is the limbs and outward flourishes, I will be brief. Your noble son is mad. Mad, I call it, for to define true madness was it to be nothing else but mad. But let that go.
More matter with less art.
Madam, I swear I use no art at all. That he is mad, 'tis true. 'Tis true, 'tis pity and pity. 'Tis true, a foolish figure. But farewell it, for I will use no art. Mad, let us grant him then in our maze that we may find out the cause of this effect. Or rather say, the cause of this defect. For this effect effective comes by cause, and thus it remains and remainder thus. Consider, I have a daughter, have while she is mine, who in her duty in obedience mark hath given me this. Now gather and surmise. To the celestial in my soul's idol, the most beautified Ophelia. That's no phrase, a vile phrase. Beautified is a vile phrase, but you shall hear. Thus in her excellent white bosom these, etc.
Came this from Hamlet to her?
Good madam, stay a while, I'll be faithful. Doubt thou the stars are fire, doubt that the sun doth move, doubt truth to be a liar, but never doubt I love. Oh, dear Ophelia, I am ill at these numbers. I have not art to reckon my groans, but that I love thee best. Oh, most best believe it. Adieu. Thine evermore, most dear lady Willis, this machine is to him Hamlet. This in obedience hath my daughter shown me, and more about half his solicitings as they fell out, by time, by means, and place, all given to my ear.
But how hath she received his love?
What do you think of me?
As of a man faithful and honorable.
I would be glad to prove so. No, I went round to work, and my young daughter thus I did bespeak. Lord Hamlet is a prince above your rank, this must not be. And then I instructions gave her that she should lock herself from his visits, admit no messengers, receive no tokens, which done, she took the fruits in my advice. And he, repelled, fell into a sadness, thence into a weakness, thence into a lightness, and by this decline, into the madness where now he raves, and we all mourn for.
Do you think 'tis this?
It may be very like.
Hath there ever been a time where I had positively said 'tis so when it was proved otherwise?
Not that I know.
Take this from this, if it be otherwise.
How may we try it further?
You know, sometimes he walks 4 hours together here in the lobby.
So he does indeed.
At such a time, I'll loose my daughter to her, and be you and I hidden behind the curtain, and then listen to the encounter.
We will try it.
But look how sadly the poor wretch comes reading.
Away, I do beseech you both, away, to him will speak, oh, give me leave. How does the good Lord Hamlet?
Well, God a mercy.
Do you know me, my lord?
Excellent well. You are a fishmonger.
Not I, my lord.
Then I would you were so honest a man.
Honest, my lord?
Aye, sir. To be honest as this world goes is to be one man picked out of 10,000.
That's very true, my lord.
For if the sun breed maggots in a dead dog, being it a good kissing carrion, have you a daughter?
I have, my lord.
Oh, let her not walk in the sun, for though conception is a blessing, as your daughter may conceive, friend, look to it.
How say you by that? Still harping on my daughter, yet he knew me not at first. He said I was a fishmonger. He is far gone, and truly in my youth I suffered much extremity for love. Very near this. I'll speak to him again. What do you read, my lord?
Words, words, words.
What's the matter, my lord?
Between who?
I mean the matter that you read, my lord.
Oh, slander, sir. For the satirical rogue says here that old men have gray beards, that their faces are wrinkled, and that they have a plentiful lack of wit altogether with most weak legs. And though I most powerfully and potently believe, I hold it not honesty to have it thus set down. For yourself, sir, shall grow old as I am. If like a crab you could go backward.
Though this is madness, yet there be method in it. Will you walk out of the air, my lord?
Into my grave.
Indeed, that is out of the air. How pregnant sometimes his replies are. My lord, I will take my leave of you.
You cannot take from me anything that I will more willingly part with. Except my life. Accept my life. Accept my life!
Well, my lord!
These tedious old fools.
The Lord Hamlet, there he is!
Save you, sir.
My honored lord!
My most dear lord!
My excellent good friends!
Huh? Hart, Guildenstern, Rosencrantz. Good lads, how do ye both?
As the indifferent children of the earth.
Happy, and that we are not ever happy. On Fortune's cap, we are not the very button.
Nor the soles of her shoe?
Neither, my lord.
Then you live about her waist, or in the middle of her favors?
Faith, her privates we.
Hey! In the secret parts of Fortune, oh, most true, she is a strumpet. What news?
None, my lord, but the world's grown honest.
Then is doomsday near? But your news is not true. Let me question more in particular. What have you good friends deserved at the hands of Fortune that she send you to prison hither?
Prison, my lord?
Denmark's a prison.
Then is the world one.
A goodly one, in which there are many confines, wards, and dungeons. Denmark being one of the worst.
We think not so, my lord.
Why then 'tis none to you, for there is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. To me, it is a prison.
Why then your ambition makes it one. 'Tis too narrow for your mind.
Oh God, I could be bounded in a nutshell and count myself a king of infinite space. Were it not that I have bad dreams.
Which dreams indeed are ambition. For the very substance of the ambitious is merely a shadow of a dream.
A dream itself is but a shadow.
Truly, and I hold ambition of so airy and light a quality that it is but a shadow.
Then are our beggars' bodies, and our monarchs and outstretched heroes the beggars' shadows. Shall we to the court? For by my fay I cannot reason.
We'll wait upon you.
No such matter. I will not sort you with the rest of my servants, for to speak to you like an honest man, I am most dreadfully attended. But in the beaten way of friendship, what make you at Elsinore?
To visit you, my lord. No other occasion.
Beggar that I am, I am ever poor in thanks. But I thank you, and dear friends, my thanks are too dear a halfpenny. Were you not sent for? Is it of your own inclining? Is it a free visitation? Come, deal justly with me. Come. Nay, speak.
What shall we say, my lord?
Anything but to the purpose. You were sent for. And there's a kind of confession in your looks which your modesties have not craft enough to color. I know the good king and queen have sent for you.
To what end, my lord?
That you must teach me. Be even and direct with me, whether you were sent for or no.
What say you?
Nay then, I have an eye of you. If you love me, hold not off.
My lord, we were sent for.
I will tell you why. I have of recent, but wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth. What a piece of work is a man. How noble in reason, how infinite in faculties, in form and moving. How express and admirable in action. How like an angel in apprehension. How like a god, the beauty of the world, the paragon of animals. And yet, to me... What is this quintessence of dust? Man delights not me, nor woman neither, though by your laughing you seem to say so.
My lord, there was no such stuff in my thoughts.
Why did ye laugh then when I said man delights not me?
To think, my lord, if you delight not in man, what Lenten entertainment the players shall receive from you. We pass them on the way, and hither they coming to offer you service.
He that plays the king shall be welcome. His majesty shall have tribute of me. What players are they?
Even those you take such delight in, the tragedians of the city.
How chances it they travel?
They're the players.
Gentlemen, you are welcome to Elsinore. But my uncle father and aunt mother are deceived.
In what, my dear lord?
I am but mad, northwest. When the wind is southerly, I know a hawk from a handsaw.
Well be with you, gentlemen.
Hark you, Guildenstern, and you too, at each ear here. That great baby you see there is not yet out of his swaddling clothes.
My lord, I have news to tell you.
My lord, I have news to tell you.
The actors are come hither, my lord.
Buzz.
Upon my honor.
Then came each actor on his ass.
The best actors in the world, whether for tragedy, comedy, history, pastoral, comical, scene, undividable, or poem unlimited.
Oh, Jephthah, judge of Israel, what treasures hadst thou?
What treasure had he, my lord?
Why, One fair daughter, and no more, the which he loved passing well.
Still on my daughter.
Am I not in the right, old Jephthah?
If you call me Jephthah, my lord, I have a daughter I love passing well.
Nay, that follows not.
What follows then, my lord?
Why, as by lot, God wot, and then you know it came to pass, as most like it was, the first row of the pious chanson will show you more. For look where my abridgment comes. Welcome, masters, welcome all! Good friends, I'm glad to see thee well. Why, old friend, thy face is valiant since I saw thee last. Comest thou to beard me in Denmark? What, my young lady and mistress? By our lady, your ladyship is nearer to heaven than when I saw thee last. Come, give us a taste of your quality. Come, a passionate speech.
What speech, my good lord?
I heard thee speak me a speech once, but it was never acted. Or, if it was, not above once. For the speech I remember pleased not the million. 'Twas caviar to the general, but it was as I received it. I remember one said there were no embellishments in it to make the lines. One planet I chiefly love, 'twas Annius' tale to Dido, and thereabout of it, especially when he speaks of Priam's slaughter. If it live in your memory, begin at this line. Let me think. The hellish Pyrrhus, like the Hyrcanian beast. 'Tis not so. It begins with Pyrrhus. The hellish Pyrrhus, he whose sable arms black as his purpose did the night resemble when he lay couched in the ominous horse. Now black and heraldry dismal smeared, with heraldry from head to foot. Now is he covered, horridly tricked, with blood of fathers, mothers, daughters, sons, baked and empasted with wrath and fire, and thus oversized with coagulate gore, with eyes like carbuncles, the hellish Pyrrhus, old grandsire Priam seeks. So proceed.
For God, my lord, well spoken, with good accent and good expression.
Anon, he finds him, striking too short at the Greeks. His antique sword, rebellious to his arm, lies where it falls, repugnant to command. Unequal matched, Pyrrhus at Priam drives, but in rage strikes wide. But with the whiff and whim of his fell sword, the unnerved father falls. Then senseless Ilium, seeming to feel his blow, with flaming top stoops to his base, and with a hideous crash takes prisoner Pyrrhus' ear. For lo, his sword, which was declining on the milky head of Reverend Priam, seemed in the air to stick. So as a painted tyrant Pyrrhus stood, and like a neutral to his will and matter, did nothing. But, as we often see against some storm, a silence in the heavens, the rack stands still, the bold winds speechless, and the orb below as hush as death. Anon the dreadful thunder doth rend the region, so after Pyrrhus' pause, a roused vengeance sets him more work. And never did the Cyclops' hammer fall on Mars' armor forged from hoof etern, with less remorse than Pyrrhus' bleeding sword now falls on Priam. Out, out, thou strumpet fortune! All you gods and general synod, take away her power, break all the spokes and fellies from the wheel, and bowl the round nave down the hill of heaven, as low as to the fiend.
This is too long!
It shall to the barber's with your beard. Prithee, say on. He's for a jig or a tale of bawdry, or he sleeps. Say on. Come, to Hecuba.
But who, ah woe, had seen the moblid queen?
Ooh, the moblid queen.
That's good. Ennobled queen is good.
Running barefoot up and down, threatening the flames, with blinding tears, a cloth upon that head where laid a crown had stood, and for a robe about her lank and o'erteemed loins, a blanket in the alarm of fear caught up. Who this had seen, with tongue in venom steeped, 'gainst fortune's state would treason have pronounced. But if the gods...
I can't talk right now. Dude, bye. Sorry. Continue.
she saw Pyrrhus make malicious sport in mincing with his sword her husband's limbs, the instant burst of clamor that she made, unless things mortal move them not at all, would have made Milch the burning eye of heaven and passion in the gods.
Look where he has not turned his color and has tears in his eyes. Breathe ye no more.
Tis very well. I'll have thee speak out the rest of this speech soon. Good my lord, will you see the players well bestowed?
My lord, I will use them according to their desert.
Gods, and much better. Use every man after his desert, and who shall escape whipping? Use them after your own honor and dignity. The less they deserve, the more merit is in your bounty. Take them in.
Come, sirs.
Follow him, friends. We'll hear a speech tomorrow. Dost thou hear me, old friend? Can you play the murder of Gonzago?
Ah, my lord.
As well. We'll hear this speech tomorrow night. And you could for need study some dozen lines or 16 lines, which I would set down and insert in it, could you not?
Ah, my lord.
Good. Follow that lord, and prithee make him not. Good, my lords, you are welcome to Elsinore.
Good, my lord.
Aye, so. Goodbye to you. Now I'm alone. Oh, what a rogue and peasant slave am I. Is it not monstrous that this player here, but in a fiction, in a dream of passion, can so force his soul to his own conceit? Tears in his eyes, distraction in his aspect, a broken voice and his whole function suiting, and all for nothing. For Hecuba? What's Hecuba to him, or he to Hecuba, that he should weep for her? What would he do had he the motive and the cue for passion that I have? Why, he would drown the stage in tears, yet I can say nothing. Am I a coward? Who calls me villain? Oh, vengeance, why, what an ass am I! This is most brave that I, the sole son of a dear murdered, prompted to my revenge by heaven and hell, must unpack my heart with words. Fire upon it about my brains. I have heard that guilty people sitting in a play have by the very topic of a scene been so moved to their soul that they have presently proclaimed their ill deeds. For though murder have no tongue, it will speak. I'll have these players play something like the murder of my father before mine uncle. I'll observe his looks. If he but flinch, I'll know my course. The spirit that I have seen may be a devil, and the devil hath the power to assume a pleasing shape. Yea, and out of my weakness and melancholy, as the devil is very potent with such spirits, deceives me to damn me. The play's the thing whereon I catch the conscience of the king.
And can you, by no drift of conference, get from him why he puts on all this confusion, grading so harshly from all his days of quiet and dangerous and turbulent lunacy?
He does confess he feels himself distracted, but from what cause he will by no means speak.
Nor do we find him forward to be sounded, but with a crafty madness keeps aloof when we would bring him on to some confession of his true state.
Did he receive you well?
Most like a gentleman.
But with much forcing of his disposition.
Resisting of question, but of our demands most free in his reply.
Did you invite him to any pastime?
Madam, it so fell out that certain players we overtook on the way. Of these we told him, and there did seem in him a kind of joy to hear of it. They are here about the court, and as I think, they have already ordered this knight to play before him.
'Tis most true, and he beseeched me to entreat your majesties to hear and see the matter.
With all my heart, it doth which content me to see him so inclined. Good gentlemen, give him a further edge and drive his purpose into these delights.
We shall, my lord.
Good Gertrude, leave us too. We have closely sent for Hamlet to come here, that he, as 'twere by accident, may hear affront Ophelia. Her father and myself will bestow ourselves that, seeing unseen, may of their encounter frankly judge and gather by him, if it be the affliction of his love, or know that thus he suffers for.
I shall obey you. And for your part, Ophelia, I do wish that your good beauties be the happy cause of Hamlet's roundness. So shall I hope that your virtues bring him to his wonted way again, to both your honors.
Madam, I wish it may.
Ophelia, walk you here. Read on this book and show all the color of your loneliness. I am coming, my lord, withdraw.
To be or not to be? That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing end them. To die, to sleep, no more. And by asleep to say we end the heartache and the 1,000 natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die, to sleep perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come, when we have shuffled off this mortal coil, must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time? The oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of disprized love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, and the patient merit that the unworthy takes, when he himself might his quietus make with a bare blade. For who would burdens bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life, but that the dread of something after death? That undiscovered country from whose bounds no traveler returns, puzzles the will, and makes us rather bear those ills we have now than fly to others that we know not of. Thus, conscience does make cowards of us all, and lose the name of action. Softer now the fair Ophelia, nymph, and thy prayers be all my sins remembered.
Good my lord, how does your honor for this many a day?
I humbly thank you. Well?
My lord, I have remembrances of yours that I've longed to redeliver. I pray you now receive them.
No, not I. I never gave you aught.
My lord, you know right well you did, and with these words of so sweet breath composed, as made these things more rich. Their perfume lost, take these again for a noble mind. Rich gifts wax poor when givers prove unkind. There, my lord.
Are you honest?
My lord!
Are you fair?
What means your lordship?
That if you be honest, your honesty should admit no discourse to your beauty.
Could beauty, my lord, have better commerce than with honesty?
Ah, truly. For beauty will sooner transform honesty from what it is to a bard than the power of honesty can transform beauty into his likeness. This was sometime a paradox, but now the time gives it proof. I did love you. Once.
Indeed, lord, you made me believe so.
You should not have believed me. I loved you not.
I was the more deceived.
Get thee to a nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? Were better my mother had not borne me. I'm very proud, ambitious, revengeful, with more offenses at my beck than I have thoughts to put them in, imagination to give them shape, or time to act them in. What should such fellows as I do, crawling between heaven and earth? Believe none of us. Go thy ways to a nunnery. Where is your father?
At home, my lord.
Let his doors be shut upon him, that he may be a fool nowhere but in his own house. Farewell.
Oh, help him, you sweet heavens.
If thou dost marry, I'll give thee this plague for thy dowry. Be thou as chaste as ice, as pure as snow, thou shalt not escape slander. To a nunnery go, farewell. Or if thou wilt needs marry, marry a fool. For wise men know what monsters you make of them.
Heavenly powers restore him.
Go to. I'll no more on it. It hath made me mad. I say, we'll have no more marriage. Those that are married already, all but one, shall live. The rest shall keep as they are. To a nunnery, go!
Oh, what a noble mind is here overthrown. And I of ladies most deject and wretched, that have sucked the honey of his music vows. Now see the noble and most sovereign reason, like sweet bells, jangled out of time and harsh. The form and feature of blown youth blasted with ecstasy. Oh, woe is me that have seen what I have seen. See what I see.
Love? His emotions do not that way tend. Nor what he spoke, though it lacked form a little, was not like madness. There's something in his soul, on which the melancholy sits unbrewed. And I do doubt the hatched and disclosed will be of some danger, which for to prevent I in quick determination thus decided. He shall with speed to England go. With variable objects shall expel this matter in his heart. What do you think on it?
It shall do well, but yet I do believe the origin and commencement of his grief sprung from neglected love. How now, Ophelia? You need not tell us what the Lord Hamlet said. We heard it all. My good lord, do as you please, but if you hold it till after the play, let his queen mother all alone entreat him to show his grief. Let her be round with him, and I'll be placed so please you, so as to hear all of their conference. If she fails to find what troubles him, to England send him, or confine him where your wisdom best shall think.
It shall be so. Madness and great ones must not unwatched go.
Speak the speech, I pray you, as I pronounced it to you, trippingly on the tongue. But if you say it as many of our players do, I had rather the town crier spoke my lines. No, do not saw the air too much with your hand thus, but use all gently. For in the very torrent, tempest, and, as I may say, whirlwind of your creation, you must acquire and create a temperance that may give it smoothness. What offends me to the soul to hear a fellow tear a play to tatters, to very rags, to split the ears of the audience who, for the most part, are capable of nothing more than inexplicable dumb shows and noise. Out of such a fellow whipped, pray you avoid it.
I warrant your honor.
Be not too tame neither, but let your own discretion be your tutor. Suit the action to the word to the action, as if 'twere to hold the mirror up to nature, to show virtue, the very time and form of his body, form and pressure.
I hope we have reformed that little bit with us.
I'll reform it altogether. And let those that play your clowns speak no more than is what's set down for them. That's villainous and shows a most pitiful ambition in the fool that uses it. Go, make you ready. How now, good lord? Will the king hear this piece of work?
And the queen too in that presently.
Will you bid hasten them? Will you two help hasten them?
Aye, my lord.
What ho, Horatio?
Here, sweet lord, at your service.
Horatio,
My dear lord.
do not think I flatter. For thou hast been a man's heart that fortune's blows and rewards has taken with equal thanks. Give me that man that is not passion's slave, and I'll wear him in my heart's core. Aye, in my heart of hearts, as I do thee. Altogether, too much of this. There is a play tonight before the king. One scene of it comes near the circumstance which I have told thee of my father's death. I pray thee, when thou seest the act performed, observe my uncle. Give him careful watch, and after we can compare our judgments and censure of his seeming.
'Tis well, my lord.
They're coming to the play. I must be idle. Go get your spot.
in Hamlet.
Excellent in faith. Of the chameleon's dish I eat, the air promise crammed. You cannot feed Kate and so.
I have nothing in this answer, Hamlet. These words are not mine.
No, nor mine now, my lord. You played once in the university, you say?
That did I, my lord, was accounted a good actor.
What did you enact?
I did enact the Julius Caesar. I was killed in the Capitol. Brutus killed me.
Was a brute pardoned to kill so capital a calf? Be the players ready?
Aye, my lord, they stay upon your patience.
Come hither, my dear Hamlet, sit by me.
No, good madam. Here's metal more attractive.
Did you mark that?
Lady, shall I lie in your lap?
No, my lord.
I mean my head upon your lap.
I, my lord?
Do you think I meant country matters?
I think nothing, my lord.
That's a fair thought to lie between maids' legs.
What is, my lord?
Nothing.
You are merry, my lord.
Who? I?
I, my lord.
Oh God, you're only jig maker. What should a man do but be merry? For look you how cheerfully my mother looks. My father only died within 2 hours.
Nay, 'tis twice 2 months, my lord.
So long? Then let the devil wear black, for I'll have a suit of sables. Oh heavens, died 2 months ago and not forgotten yet. Then there's hope a great man's memory may outlive his life half a year.
Affairs, my lord.
Abandon the play.
What? Frighted with false fire?
Give me some lights away!
Lights! Lights! Lights!
Why let the stricken deer go weep? The heart ungalled play. For some must watch, for some must sleep. Thus runs the world away. Would not this get me a partnership in a troop of players?
Half a share.
A whole one eye. Oh, Horatio, I'll take the ghost's word for a fortune. Didst thou perceive the king?
Very well, my lord.
Upon the talk of the poisoning?
I did very well note him.
Oh, God bless you, sir.
My lord, the queen would speak with you presently.
Do you see yonder cloud that is almost in shape of a camel?
By the mass, and 'tis like a camel indeed.
Methinks it is like a weasel.
It is backed like a weasel.
Or like a whale.
Very like a whale.
Then I will come to my mother by and by. Leave me, friends. Soft now to my mother. Heart, lose not thy nature. Let me be cruel, not unnatural. I will speak daggers to her, but use none.
not, nor does it stand safe with us to let his madness range. Therefore prepare you. I, your commission, will forthwith dispatch, and he to England shall be sent along with you.
We will ourselves provide. Most holy and religious fear it is, to keep those many, many bodies safe, that live and feed upon your majesty.
The single and peculiar life is bound with all the strength and armor of the mind to keep itself from noise. Never alone did the king sigh, both the general groan.
Arm you, I pray you, to this speedy voyage.
We will haste us.
My lord, he is going to his mother's closet. Behind the curtain, I'll hide myself to hear the proceedings. I warrant to reprove him for his behavior, and as you said, and wisely was it said, 'tis good that some more audience than a mother, since nature makes them partial, should overhear the speech advantage. Very well, my liege, I'll call upon you ere you go to bed and tell you what I know.
Thanks, dear my lord. Oh, my offenseless rank. It smells to heaven. Hath the primal eldest curse upon it. A brother's murder. I cannot pray, though inclination be as sharp as will. My stronger guilt defeats my strong intent. But what if this cursed hand were thicker than itself with brother's blood? Is there not rain enough in the sweet heavens to wash it white as snow? But oh, what form of prayer can serve me? My turn, forgive me my foul murder! That cannot be, for I'm still possessed of those effects for which I did the murder. My crown, mine own ambition, and my queen. May one be pardoned and still retain the benefits? In heaven, there is no shuffling. There the action lies in his true nature. What then? What rests? Try what repentance can. What can it not? But what can it when one cannot repent? Oh, wretched state, oh, bosom black as death, oh, alive and soul, not struggling to be free! What mortgage? Oh, stubborn knees and heart with strings of steel. Be as soft as sinews of a newborn babe. Oh, may be well.
Now might I do it? But now he is a prey. And now I'll do it. And so he goes to heaven. And so I am revenged. A villain kills my father. And for that I, that same villain, do send to heaven. Why, that is reward, not revenge. He took my father, grossly full of sin, with all his crimes broad blown, flush as May. And now how his audit stands. Say, heaven. And am I then revenged to take him in the purging of his soul when he is fit and seasoned for his passage? No. Upsword, I know thou a more horrid time, when he is drunk, asleep, in his rage, or in the incestuous pleasure of his bed, at game swearing, or about some act that has no relish of salvation in it. Then trip him, that his heels may kick at heaven, and that his soul may be as black and damned as hell whereto it goes. My mother stays. This physique but prolongs thy sickly days.
My words fly up, my thoughts remain low. Words without thought never to heaven go.
He will come straight. Look, you speak strictly to him. Tell him his prince been too broad to bear with, and that your grace has stood in spring between much heat and him. Pray be harsh. I'll silence me even here.
I warrant you fear for me not. Withdraw, I hear him coming.
Mother! Mother! Now what's the matter, Mother?
Hamlet, thou hast thy father much offended.
Mother, you have my father much offended.
Come, you answer with an idle tongue.
Go, you question with a wicked tongue.
Why, how now, Hamlet?
What's the matter now?
Hast thou forgotten me?
No, not by the cross, not so. You are the queen, your husband's brother's wife. And would it were not so, you are my mother.
Nay, I'll set you to those that can speak to you.
I'll come and sit you down. You shall not budge. You go not till I set you up a mirror where you may see the inmost part of you.
What wilt thou do? Thou wilt not murder me?
What ho? Help? How now? A rat? Down!
Oh me, what hast thou done?
Nay, I know not. Is it the king?
Oh, what a rash and bloody deed this is.
A bloody deed, good mother. Almost as bad as kill a king and marry with his brother.
His brother!
As kill a king.
Aye, lady, it was my word. Thou wretched, rash, intruding fool. Farewell. I took thee for thy better. Leave wringing of your hands. Peace, sit you down and let me wring your heart.
What hast thou done, that thou dare wag thy tongue in noise so rude against me?
Such an act that blurs the blushing grace of modesty.
I mean, when hath thou roared so loud the thunders in the index?
Look upon this picture, and on this, the counterfeit presentment of two brothers. This was your husband. Have you eyes? Could you on this mountain leave to feed and batten on this swamp? Have you eyes? Oh, shame, where is thy blush?
Oh, Hamlet, speak no more. Thou strengths my eyes into my very soul, and there I see such black and grieved spots as will leave their stain.
Nay, but to live in the rank sweat of an enseamed bed, stewed in corruption, honeying and making love over the nasty sty.
Speak no more!
A murderer and a villain, a pickpocket of the empire and the rule.
No more!
A king of shreds and patches. Oh, save me and hover over me with your wings, you heavenly guards. What would your gracious figure?
Alas, he's mad.
Have you not come, your tardy son, to chide that, lest in time and passion let's go by the important acting of your dread command? Oh, say,
Do not forget, this visitation is but to whet thy almost blunted purpose. But look, amazement on thy mother sits. Oh, step between her and her fighting soul. Concede weakest body, strongest works. Speak to her, Hamlet.
how is it with you, lady?
Alas, how is it with you, that you do bend your eye on empty space and hold thy air in corporal discourse? O gentle sun, upon the heat flame of thy distemper, sprinkle cool patience. Whereon do you look?
On him! On him! Look you how pale he glares. Do not look upon me unless with this piteous action you convert my stern effects. Then what I have to do upon true color? Tears perchance for blood?
To whom you speak this?
Do you see nothing there?
Nothing at all yet. All it is I see.
No, nothing did you hear?
Nothing but ourselves.
Why, look you there. My father in his clothes as he lived. Why, look even now as he goes out of the portal.
This is the very invention of your brain. This bodiless creation ecstasy is very coming in.
Ecstasy? It is not madness that I've uttered. Mother of grace, confess yourself to heaven. Repent what's past, avoid what's to come. I do not spread the compost on the weeds to make them ranker. Forgive me this, my virtue.
Hamlet, it's cleft my heart in twain.
I'll throw away the worser part of it, and live the purer with the other half. Good night, but go not to my uncle's bed. Assume a virtue if you have it not. Refrain tonight, and that shall lend a kind of easiness to the next abstinence. And when you are desirous to be blessed, I'll blessing beg of you. For this same Lord I do repent. I will bestow him and will answer well the death I gave him. So once again, good night. I must be cruel only to be kind. Thus bad remains, and worse remains behind.
What shall I do?
No, Faith, not this. I am essentially not in madness, but mad in craft. 'Twere good you let me know.
Be thou assured, if words be made of breath, and breath be made of life, no life to breathe.
I must to England go. You know that.
Alack, I had forgot. 'Tis so concluded on.
The letters are sealed. My 2 schoolfellows, whom I will trust, as I will, cobras fanged. The king shall set me packing. I'll lug the guts into the neighbor room. Come, sir, to draw toward an end with you. Good night, mother.
There's matters in these sighs, these profound heaves. You must translate 'tis fit we understand them. Where is your son?
Bestow this place on us a little while. Oh, my Lord, what have I seen tonight?
What, Gertrude? How does Hamlet?
Mad as the sea and wind, which is mad as the sea and wind, which is content in his lawless fit. Hearing something stir behind the curtain, rips out his rapier and cries, "A rat! A rat!" And in his brownish apprehension, kills the unseen good old man.
Oh, my dear. It had been so, that's how we've been there! It's somebody's fault, that's to all of us! To you! Yourself! To everyone! Alas, how should this bloody deed be answered? Where has he gone?
To draw apart the body he hath killed.
Oh, come away. We will shoot him hence! And this vile deed we must, with all her majesty and skill, both countenance and excuse. How? Kill him, sir! Hamlet, in madness, hath Polonius slain. Go seek him out, speak fair, and bring the body into the chapel. I pray you hasten this! Come, Gertrude, we'll call upon our wisest friends and tell them what we mean to do and what's untimely done. Oh, come away. My soul is full of discord and dismay.
Lord Hamlet! 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 My lord! My lord! My lord! Hamlet!
What have you done, my lord, with the dead body?
Compounded it with dust, whereto 'tis kin.
Tell us where 'tis, that we may take it thence and bear it to the chapel.
Do not believe it.
Believe what?
Then I can keep your counsel, but not my own. Besides, we demanded of a sponge. What replication should be made by the son of a king?
Take you me for a sponge, my lord?
Aye, sir. That soaks up the king's countenances, his rewards, his authorities. But such officers do the king best service in the end. He keeps them, like an ape, in the corner of his jaw, first mouthed to be the last swallowed. But when he needs the information that you have gleaned, it is but squeezing you. And sponge, you shall be dry again.
I understand you not, my lord.
I'm glad of it. A knavish speech sleeps in a foolish ear.
My lord, you must tell us where the dead body is and go with us to the king.
Ooh, the body is with the king, but the king is not with the body. The king is but a thing.
A thing, my lord?
Of nothing. Bring me to him.
I am sent to seek him and find the body. How dangerous is that this man goes loose. But we must not put the strong law on him. He is loved of the foolish people who like not in their judgment but in their eyes. How now? What hath befallen?
Where the dead body is hidden, my lord, we cannot get from him.
But where is he?
Outside, guarded, waiting at your pleasure.
Bring him before us.
Bring in the Lord.
Oh. Now, Hamlet, where's Polonius?
At supper?
At supper! Where?
Ooh, not where he eats, but where he is eaten. Oh, a certain convocation of politic worms are even at him now. Your worm is your only emperor for diet. We fat all creatures else to fat us, and we fat ourselves from maggots. Your fat king and your lean beggars, but variable service. 2 dishes to 1 table. That's the end. And a man may fish with the worm that hath eat of a king, and eat of the fish that hath eat of that worm.
What dost thou mean by this?
Nothing, but to show you how the body of a king may progress through the guts of a beggar.
Where is Polonius?
In heaven. Send thither to see. If you find him not there, seek him in the other place yourself. But if you find him not within the month, you shall nose him as you go up the stairs into the lobby.
Go! Seek him there!
He shall stay till you come.
Hamlet, this deed is for thine especial safety, which we do tender, as we dearly grieve for which thou hast done. Must send thee hence. With fire and quickness, therefore, prepare thyself. The ship is ready and the wind is good. The associates tend and everything is bent for England.
For England?
Aye, Hamlet.
Good.
So does thou knewest our purposes.
I see cherub that sees them. But come, for England. Fare you well, mother.
Thy loving father, Hamlet.
Oh, no, my mother. For mother and father is man and wife, and man and wife is one flesh. So, my mother. But come, for England.
Follow him! Delay not! I'll have him leave tonight! Away, for everything that's sealed and done is our leans on this affair. And England, if my love thou holdest at all, present death of Hamlet. Do it, England.
I will not speak with her.
She's importunate, indeed distract. Her mood will needs be pitied.
What would she have?
She speaks much of her father, till she hears there's tricks at the world, and hems, and beats her heart, spurns enviously at straws, and hems and beats her heart. She...
'Twere good she were spoken with, for she may steer dangerous conjectures and ill-breeding minds. Let her come in.
My sick soul.
Where is the beauteous majesty of Denmark?
How now, Ophelia?
How should I your true love know from another one? By his cockle hat and staff, and by his sandal shun.
Alas, sweet lady, what imports this song?
What say you? Nay, pray you, listen. He is dead and gone, lady. He is dead and gone. At his head a grass green turf, and at his heels a stone.
Nay, but Ophelia.
Pray you mark! White his shroud is the mountain snow.
Beloved, look. Here comes the Lord.
Covered with sweet flowers, which be wet to the ground and not go. With true love showers.
How do you, pretty lady?
Pray, let's have no words of this, but when they ask you meant, say you this. Tomorrow is St. Valentine's Day, and all in the morning time, and I am made at your window to be your Valentine. Then up he rose and donned his clothes, and up the chamber door. Let in a maid, that out a maid, never departed more.
She's thinking of her father.
Indeed, without an oath, I shall make an end on it. By Jess and by St. Charity, alack and fie for shame. Young men will do it, if they come to it, by cock they are to blame. Quoth she, before you tumbled me, you promised me to wed. He answers, so would I had done by yonder sun, if thou hast not come to my bed.
Oh, pretty Ophelia.
hope all will be well. But we must be patient. But I cannot choose but to weep to think they lay him in the cold ground. My brother shall know of it! And so I thank you for your counsel. Come, my coach. Good night, ladies. Good night, sweet ladies. Good night. Good night.
Follow her close, give her good watch, I pray you. Oh, this is the poison of deep grief, and it all springs from her father's death. And now behold, oh Gertrude, when sorrows come, they come not in single spies, but in battalions. First your father's son, next your son gone, and he the most violent author of his own just removal. The people mighty, thick and unwholesome in their thoughts and whispers for good Polonius' death, and we have done but to inter him. And last, and a secret is all the rest, Laertes in secret is come from France, and he lacks not for gossip to infect his ear, with vile speeches of his father's death in ear and ear. Oh, my dear Gertrude, this kills me many times over. Attend! Where are my guards? Let them man the door! What is the matter?
Young Laertes overbears your officers. The commoners call for morning cry, Laertes shall be king! Laertes shall be king!
Oh, how cheerful. Oh, this is counter, you false Danish dog! Doors are broke!
Laertes shall be king! Laertes shall be king! Laertes shall be king!
Laertes shall be king! Addis! Got them and take them away! Oh, thou vile king, give me my father! Calmly, good Laertes. The drop of blood that comes proclaims me bastard! Christ, uncle to my father, brands my mother a harlot! What is the cause, good Laertes, that thy rebellion looks so giant-like? Let him go, Gertrude. Do not fear for us. Why thou art thus incensed, Laertes? Let him go! Speak, man. Where is my father? Dead. But not by him. Let him demand his fill. How come he dead? I'll not be juggled with. To hell, alliance! Vows to the blackest devil, conscience and grace to the profoundest pit. I dare damnation. To this point I stand, that both the worlds I give to negligence. Let come what comes, only I'll be revenged most thoroughly for my father. Who shall stay you? My will, not all the world's. And as for my means, I'll manage them so well they shall go far with little. If you desire to know the certainty of your father, dear Laertes, is it written your revenge that you will kill both friend and foe, winner and loser? None but my enemies. Will you know them then? To my good friends, thus wide I'll open my arms, and repay them with my blood. Why, now you speak like a good child and a true gentleman. I am guiltless for your father's death, and most sensibly in grief for it. It shall as level to your judgment as day does to your eye. Whoa now, what noise is that? Ophelia? Will he dry out my brains? Tears bring out the sense and virtue of mine eye. By heavens, thy madness shall be repaid. Rose of May, dear maid, kind sister, sweet Ophelia. Is it possible a young maid's wit should be as mortal as an old man's life?
They bore him barefaced, hey nani nani nani, and at his grave rained many a tear.
Hadst thou thy wits and didst persuade revenge, cannot move thus.
You must sing a down, as you call him, a down. Oh, how the wheel becomes it. It is a false steward that has stole the master's daughter.
This nothing's more than matter.
Here's rosemary. That's for remembrance. Pray you, love, remember. And there's pansies. That's for thoughts.
Documented madness. Thoughts and remembrance fitted.
There's fennel for you, and columbines. There's rue for you, and some for me. We may call it the herb of grace of Sundays. You may wear your rue with a difference. Here's a daisy. I'd give you violets, but they withered all when my father died. They say he made a good end.
Thoughts and afflictions, passion, hell itself. She turns a favor into prettiness.
And will he not come again, come again, come again? Will he not come again? No, he is dead. Go to thy deathbed, thou will never come again. His beard was white as snow, flaxen was his poll. He is gone, and cast away moan. God have mercy on his soul, and all Christian souls. Goodbye, you.
Do you see this, oh God?
Laertes, I must commune with your grief, for you deny me right. Be you content to lend your soul with us, and we will jointly labor with it to give it due content.
Let this be so. His means of death, his obscure funeral, no sword, no trophy, nor hatchment o'er his bones, no noble rite, no formal ostentation, cries to be heard as 'twere from heaven to earth, that I must call it in question.
So you shall, and where the offenses, let the great axe fall. I pray you, go with me.
Horatio, 'tis from Hamlet. Ere we were but 2 days at sea, a ship of pirates gave us chase. Finding ourselves to slow sail, we put up a valiant fight, and in the grapple I boarded them. On that instant they got clear of our ship, so I alone became their prisoner. They have dealt with me like thieves of mercy, but they knew what kindness they did me. I am to do a favor for them. Give the king the letters I have sent, and come thou to me with as much speed as thou wouldst fly from death. I have words to speak in thine ear that will make thee mute. Come, meet me in that place we spent our days in youth. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern hold their course for England. Of them I have much to tell thee. Farewell. He that thou knowest is thine, Hamlet. I will get these letters to the king, and speed me to he who wrote them.
Now, you must put me in your heart for friends, since you have heard, and with a knowing ear, that he which hath your noble father slain pursued my life.
It well appears, but tell me why you proceeded not against these feats, so criminal and capital in nature.
Oh, for two special reasons, which may to you perhaps seem weak, but to me, they're strong. The queen, his mother, lives almost entirely by his looks. She is so coupled to my life and soul, I could not hurt her. The other motive is the great love the general people bear him.
And so have I, a noble father lost, a sister driven into desperate terms. But my revenge will come.
Break not your sleeps for that. I loved your father, and we love ourselves, and that, I hope, will teach you to imagine.
These to his majesty and this to the queen.
From Hamlet? Who brought them?
Sailors, my lord, they say. I saw them not. They were given to me by Horatio.
Laertes, you shall hear them. Leave us. High and mighty, I shall be set destitute on your kingdom. Tomorrow shall I beg leave to see your kingly eyes, when I shall, first asking you pardon, thereunto recount the occasion of my sudden return. What should this mean? Are all the rest come back, or is it some abuse and no such thing?
Know you the hand?
'Tis Hamlet's writing, and in a postscript here it says, alone. Can you advise me?
I'm lost in it, my lord. But let him come. It warms the very sickness in my heart that I live and tell him to his teeth, thus didst thou!
If it be so, Laertes, how otherwise? Will you be ruled by me?
I, my lord, so long as you do not overrule me to a peace.
To thine own peace. If he be returned as checking out his voyage, and that he means no more to undertake, I will work him to an exploit, now fresh in my mind, under which he shall not choose but fall. And for his death, no wind of blame shall breathe, and even his own mother shall uncharge the practice and call it accident.
My lord, I will be ruled. The rather, if you can make it that I might be the instrument of revenge.
It falls right. You have been talked of since your travel much, and that, in Hamlet's hearing, where in equality they say you shine.
What part is this, my lord?
a very ribbon in the cap of youth, and for your blade most especially.
What out of this?
Laertes, was your father dear to you?
Why ask you this?
What would you undertake to show yourself indeed your father's son, more than in words?
I'd cut Hamlet's throat in the church.
Revenge shall have no bounds, but good Laertes. Will you do this?
I'll do it. And for that purpose, I'll anoint my sword. I bought a poison so deadly that but dip a knife in it where it draws blood. No medicine so excellent collected from all the samples that have virtue to the moon can save the thing from death that is scratched with. I'll touch my point to this contagion, that if I cut him slightly, it may be death.
Soft, let me see. We'll make a solemn wager on your skill with the blade. I have it. When you and Hamlet duel in the church and that he calls for drink, I will have prepared him a chalice whereon but sipping. If he by chance escape your envenomed blade, our purpose may hold there. But stay! What noise?
One woe doth tread upon another's heel, so fast they follow. Your sister. She's drowned, Laertes.
Drowned? Where?
There's a willow tree that grows across the brook. Shows his gray-white leaves in the glassy stream. There, fantastic garlands did she make. Roe flowers, nettles, daisies, and long purples that our maids do call dead men's fingers. There on the bough her crown of weeds clamored to hang when an evil branch did break. And when down her witty trophies and herself fell into the weeping brook. Her clothes spread wide and mermaid-like a while they bore her up, at which time she chanted snatches of old songs as one who knew not her own distress. But long could not be, till that their garments, heavy with their drink, pull the poor wretch from her melodious lay. To her muddy death.
Alas, then, she is drowned.
Drowned.
Too much water hast thou, poor Ophelia, and therefore I forbid my tears. But yet it is our trick. Nature or custom hold, let shape say what it will. When these are gone, the woman will be out. And do, my lord, I have a speech of fire that fain would blaze, but that this folly drowns it.
How much I had to do to calm his rage. But this, I fear, will give it start again. Therefore, let's follow him.
Is she to be buried in Christian burial when she willfully seeks her own salvation?
I tell thee she is. Therefore make her grave straight. The coroner hath sat on her and finds it Christian burial.
Well, how can that be unless she drowned herself in her own defense?
Why, 'tis found so.
It must be self-offense, it cannot be else. For here lies the point. If I drown myself wittingly, argues an act. An act hath 3 branches. It is to do, to act, to perform. Argyle. She drowned herself wittingly.
Nay. But here you go, man digger.
Give me leave. Here lies the water. Here stands the man. Following? Okay. Now, if this man go to this water and drown himself, it is willy-nilly he goes, mark you that. But if the water come to him, and drown him, he drowns not himself. Argyle, he that is not guilty of his own death, shortens not his own life.
But is this law?
A Mary's Corners law.
Will you have the truth on it? If this had not been a gentlewoman, she'd been buried out o' Christian burial.
But 'tis a good point, and the more's the pity, that great folk should have the authority in this world to drown or hang themselves more than even their fellow Christian. Come, my spade, there are no more ancient gentlemen than gardeners, ditch diggers, and grave makers, for they hold up Adam's profession.
Was he a gentleman?
He was the first that ever bore arms.
Why, he had none?
What art thou, a heathen? How dost thou understand the scripture? The scripture says Adam digged. Could he have digged without arms? I'll pose another question to thee. If thou answers me not correctly, confess thyself and be hanged.
Go to.
What is he that builds stronger than the shipwright, the mason, or the carpenter?
A gallows maker, for that outlives 1,000 tenants.
I like thee would dwell in good faith. The gallows does well, but how? It does well to those that do ill, and now thou dost ill to say the gallows is built stronger than the church. Argyle, the gallows may do well to thee. To it, again come.
Who built stronger than a mason, a shipwright, or a carpenter?
They tell me that in unyoke.
Mary, now I can tell.
Do it.
Yes, I cannot tell.
Beat thy brains no more about it, for your dull ass will amend its speed with beating. And when you are asked this question again, say, a grave maker, for the houses he makes will last till doomsday. Go and fetch thee a jug of liquor. In youth, when I did love, methought it was very sweet to contract a time for my behove, who thought there was nothing of meat.
Has this fellow no feeling of his business that he sings in grave making?
Heaven hath made him indifferent.
'Tis even so. The hand of little employment hath attained to your sense.
But an age with the stealing steps hath clawed me in his clutch, and hath shipped me into the land as if I had never been such.
That skull had a tongue in it and could sing once. How the knave hurls it to the ground as if 'twere Cain's jawbone that did the first murder. Oh, why, this might have been the head of a politician, which this ass now overreaches, one that might outwit God, might it not?
It might, my lord.
And now my lady Worm's chapless and knocked about the head with a digger's spade. It was fine revolution, and we had the trick to see it.
Old pickaxe a spade, in 4 shrouding sheets. Old pit of clay for to be made for such a guest as meet.
Why, there's another. May not this be the head of a lawyer? Or be his quiddities now? His quillets, his cases, his parchments and tricks? Why must he suffer this mad knave to knock him about the head and not tell him of his assault and battery? Why, in his time he might have been a great buyer of land, and now those deeds will scarcely line this box. And must the inheritor himself have no more?
Not a bit more, my lord.
I will speak to this fellow. Whose grave is this, sir?
Mine, sir. Old pit of clay for to be made for such a guest as meet.
I think it be thine indeed, for thou liest in it.
You lie out of it, sir, and therefore it is not yours. For my part, I do not lie in't, and yet it is mine.
Thou dost lie in it, to be in it and say it is thine. 'Tis for the dead, not for the quick, therefore thou liest.
'Tis a quick lie, sir.
What man dost thou dig it for?
For no man, sir.
What woman, then?
For no women, neither.
Who is to be buried in it?
One that was a woman, sir. But rest her soul, she's dead.
How precise the knave is. We must speak by the book, or equivocation will undo us. How long hast thou been a grave maker?
Since that very day that young Hamlet was born, he that is mad sent into England.
Ay, Mary, why was he sent into England?
Why? Because he is mad. He shall never recover his wits there, for if he do not, it is no great matter.
Why?
'Twill not be noticed in him there. There all the men are as mad as he.
How came he mad?
Very strangely, they say.
Oh, how strangely?
Faith, even of losing his wits.
Upon what ground?
Why, here in Denmark, I have been grave digger 30 years.
How long will a man lie in the earth ere he rot?
Faith, if he be not rot before he die, he will last you some 8 year, 9 year. Another 10 will last you 9 year.
Why, he more than another?
Why, sir, his hide is so tanned with this trade that he will keep water out a great while, and your water is a sorry to care of your horse and dead body. Here's skull now. Skull has lain in the earth for 20 years.
And whose was it?
Horse and mad fellow it was. Whose do you think it was?
Nay, I know not.
Pestilence on him for a mad rogue. A poor flagon of ran on my head once. The same skull, sir, was, sir, York skull.
the king's jester.
This?
Ain't that?
Alas. Poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio. A fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. He hath borne me on his back 1,000 times. And now how abhorred in my imagination it is. My gorge rises at it. Why, here hung those lips which I've kissed I know not how oft. Where be your jibes now? Your gambols, your songs, your flashes of merriment that were wont to set the table roaring? Not one to mock your own grinning now, quite chapfallen. Get thee to my lady's chamber. Let her paint an inch thick. To this favor she must come. Make her laugh at that. Prithee, Horatio, tell me one thing.
What's that, my lord?
Dost thou think Alexander the Great looked of this fashion when he lay in the earth?
E'en so.
And smelt so.
E'en so, my lord.
To what base uses we may return, Horatio? Why, may not imagination follow the noble dust of Alexander to find it stopping a bunghole?
'Twere to consider too curiously to consider so.
No, faith, not a bit. Alexander died, Alexander was buried, Alexander returneth to dust. The dust is earth. Soft you a while. Here come the king, the queen, the courtiers. Who is it they follow and with such small lights? Why, may not this body have betokened its own life? Must be the child of some rich estate. Hide we a while and listen.
What ceremony else?
That is Laertes, a very noble youth. Mark.
What ceremony else?
Her funeral rites have been as far enlarged as we have warranty. Her death was doubtful, and but that great command o'ersways the order. She should, in ground unsanctified, have lodged till the last trumpet. For charitable prayers, flints and pebbles should be thrown on her. Yet here she is, allowed her virgin krantz, her maid instruments, and the bringing home of bell and burial.
Must there no more be done?
No more be done. We should profane the service of the dead to sing a requiem and such rest to her as to peace-parted souls.
Lay her in the earth, and from her fair and unpolluted flesh may violence spring. I tell thee, churlish priest, a ministering angel shall my sister be when thou liest howling.
What? The fair Ophelia?
Speaks to thy sweet farewell. I hope thou shouldest have been my dear Hamlet's wife. I thought thy bride bed to be decked, sweet maid, not strewed thy grave.
Oh, treble woe, fall 10 times double on that cursed head whose wicked deed thy most ingenious sons deprived thee of. Hold out through the well, till I've caught her once more in mine arms. Now pile your dust upon the quick and dead.
What is he whose grief bears such an emphasis? Whose phrase of sorrow conjures the wandering stars and makes them stand like wondered wounded hearers? This is I, Hamlet the Dane.
The devil take thy soul.
Ah! It's not well. Oh, prithee, take thy fingers from my throat. For though I'm not splintered and rotted, have I within me something dangerous which let thy wisdom fear. Take thy fingers off me! Put them asunder!
Hamlet! Hamlet! Good my lord, be quiet!
Well, I will fight with him upon this theme until my eyelids will no longer wag.
Oh, my son, what's he?
I loved Ophelia. 40,000 brothers with all their quantity of love could not make up my sum. What wilt thou do for her?
Oh, he is mad, Laertes!
For the love of God, forgive him! Swoons, show me what thou do. Would weep, would fight, would fast, would tear thyself, would drink up vinegar, eat a crocodile. I'll do it. Dost thou come here to whine, to outface me by leaping in her grave? Be very quick with her, and so will I.
This is mere madness.
Hear you, sir. What is the reason that you use me thus? I did love you ever, but it is no matter. Let Hercules himself do as he may. Cat will mew, and dog will have his day.
I pray thee, good Horatio, wait upon him. But your patience in our last night's speech will put the matter to the present push. Good Gertrude, set some watch over your son. This grave shall be a lasting monument. An hour of silence shortly shall we see. Till then in patience our proceeding be.
My lord.
So much for this, sir. You shall see the other. You do remember all the circumstance.
Remember it, my lord.
Sir, in my heart there was some kind of fighting that would not let me sleep. But good Horatio, I'm sorry that to good Laertes I forgot myself. I'll count his favors, but sure the bravery of his grief did put me into a towering passion.
Peace, who comes here?
Your lordship is quite welcome back to Denmark.
I humbly thank you. Dost thou know this buzzing fly?
No, my good lord.
My state is the better, for it is a vice to know him.
Sweet lord, if your lordship has a moment, should impart a thing to you from his majesty.
I will receive it with all diligence of spirit. Put your bonnet to its right use. 'Tis for the head.
I thank your lordship. It is very hot.
Oh, no. Believe it, it is very cold. The wind is northerly.
It is rather cold, my lord, indeed.
But yet, methinks it is rather sultry or hot, or oh, my complexion.
Exceedingly, my lord. It is very sultry. As 'twere, I cannot tell how. My lord, his majesty bade me signify to you that he has laid a great wager on your head. Sir, this is the matter.
I beseech you, remember.
Nay, my good lord, for my ease and in good faith. Sir, here is the newly come to court, Laertes. Believe me, an absolute gentleman, full of the most excellent differences, of very soft society, and great showing. Indeed, to speak sellingly of him, he is the model of gentility, the embodiment of what a gentleman should be.
Sir, his description suffers no loss in your telling, but I know to list his attributes would dazzle one's memory, and yet not come close.
Your lordship speaks most infallibly of him.
Yet, how does this concern us? Why do we wrap the gentleman in our more base breath?
Sir?
It's not possible to understand another tongue. You will do it, sir, really.
What imports the mention of this gentleman?
Of Laertes.
His purse is empty already. All's golden words are spent.
Of him, sir.
I know you're not ignorant.
I would you did. But if you didn't, it would not much approve me. Well, sir?
You are not ignorant of what excellence Laertes is.
No, lest I should compare to him in excellence. But to know a man well were to know himself.
I mean, sir, for his weapon.
His weapon?
The king, sir, hath laid, sir, that between a dozen paces between yourself and Laertes, he shall not exceed you 3 hits. He hath laid on 12 for 9, and it shall come to immediate trial if your lordship shall vouchsafe the answer.
How if I answer no?
I mean, my lord, the opposition of your person in trial.
If it please his majesty, it is but the breathing time of day with me. Let the foils be brought, the gentleman willing, and the king to his pleasure. I shall win for him if I can. If not, I will gain nothing but my shame and the odd hits.
Shall I deliver you so?
'Twould affect your nature will.
I commend my duty to your lordship.
Yours. He does well to commend himself. Are there no tongues else for his turn?
He runs away.
He did comply.
My lord, his majesty sends to know if your pleasure holds to play with Laertes.
I'm constant to my purposes. They serve the king's pleasure.
The king and queen are all coming down.
Oh, in happy time.
The queen desires you to show some gentle courtesy to Laertes before you start to play.
She well instructs me.
You will lose, my lord.
I do not think so. Since he went into France, I have been in continual practice. I shall win at the odds. You should not think how ill all's here about my heart. It is no matter.
Nay, good my lord.
It is but foolery, but a kind of misgiving that would perhaps trouble a woman.
If your mind is like anything, obey it. I will forestall their coming hither and say you are not fit.
Not a whit. We defy prophecy. There is a special providence in the fall of a sparrow. If it be not now, it will come. If it be not to come, it will be now. If it be not now, yet it will come. The readiness is all, for no man knows when he leaves. What is it to leave early? Let it be.
Come, Hamlet. Come and take this hand from me.
Give me your pardon, sir, for I've done you wrong. But pardoned as you are a gentleman. Was it Hamlet wronged Laertes? Never Hamlet. Hamlet denies it. Who does it then? Hamlet's madness. If it be so, then Hamlet is of the faction that is wronged. But give me thy gracious thoughts, that I've shot my arrow over the house and hurt my brother.
I'm satisfied in nature, whose motive in this case should stir me to my most revenge. I take your offered love like love, and will not wrong it.
I embrace it freely, and will this brother's wager frankly play. Come, bring us the foils.
Come one for me.
In mine ignorance, your skill shall stick off fiery indeed.
You mock me, sir.
No, by this hand.
Give them the foils, young Ostrich. Hamlet, you know the wager.
Very well, my lord, but you have laid your odds on the weaker side.
I do not fear it. I have seen you both, but since he is better, we therefore have odds.
This is too heavy. Let me see another.
This likes me well. Have all the foils all a length?
Aye, my good lord.
Put the cup of wine upon this table. If Hamlet score the first or the second hit, let all the battlements in the cannon fire. The king drinks to Hamlet's better breath, and in this cup a pearl shall he throw richer than that which 4 successive kings in Denmark's crown have worn. Give me the cup, and let the drums to the trumpets speak, the trumpets to the cannoneer without, the cannons to the heavens to earth. Now, the king drinks to Hamlet. Come, begin, and you the judges, bear a wary eye.
Come on, sir.
Oh, my lord.
one!
No!
Judgment!
A hit, a very palpable hit.
Well, again. Stay, give me drink. Hamlet, this pearl is thine. Here's to thy health. Give him the cup.
I'll play this bout first. Set it by a while. Come, another hit. What say you?
I do confess it. Our son shall win.
He's fat and scant of breath. Here, Hamlet, take my napkin. Rub thy brow. The queen carouses to your fortune, Hamlet.
Good madam.
Gertrude, do not drink.
I will. I pray you pardon me.
It's the poison cup. It's too late.
Here, let me rub thy brow.
My lord, I'll hit him now.
I do not think it.
And yet, it's almost against my conscience.
Come, for the third Laertes, you do but dally. I pray you pass with your best violence. I'm sure you make a wanton of me.
Say you so? Come on.
Nothing either way.
How about you now?
Sides! How is it, my lord?
How is it, Laertes?
My Altric, as it would go to mine own spirit, justly killed with mine own treachery.
What is the queen?
The drink wants to see them bleed. The drink, sweet Hamlet. I am poisoned.
Villainy, ho. Let the doors be locked! Treachery, seek it out!
Here, Hamlet. Hamlet, thou art slain. No medicine can help thee. In thee there's not half an hour's life. The treacherous instrument lies in thy hand, unbaited and envenomed. The foul practice hath turned itself on me. Oh, here I lie, never to rise again. Thy mother's poisoned, I can no more. The king's to blame.
Point and venom too. The venom to thy work! Thou incestuous, murderous, damned thane! Drink of this potion. Is the union here? Follow my mother.
He is justly served. Was the poison tempered by himself? Exchange forgivenesses with me, noble Hamlet. Mine and my father's death may fall not upon thee, nor thine on me.
Heaven make thee free of it. I follow thee. I'm dead, Horatio. Oh, wretched queen adieu. To all you who look pale and tremble at this chance, who are but mutes or audience to this act, if I had but time, as this fell Sergeant Death is strict in his arrest, oh, I could tell you. But let it be. I'm dead, Horatio. Thou livest. Report me and my cause aright to the unsatisfied.
Never believe it. I'm more an antique Roman than a Dane. Is yet some liquor left?
If thou art a man, let go! Oh, Horatio. What a wounded name is this. Things thus unknown I'll leave behind me. If thou didst ever hold me in thy heart, absent thee from felicity a while,
and in this harsh world, draw thy breath in pain to tell my story. Oh, I die, Horatio. The rest is silence.
Now cracks a noble heart. Good night, sweet prince. Flights of angels sing thee to thy rest.